Right then folk, welcome back to another video beer review. Today we've got a beer coming out of Burnt Mill, and it is their Condensing covers a Citra, Mosaic and the ever wonderful Crush Fog Dipper, coming in at 8% ABV. There we go. So yeah, seems a sensible thing to have on a school night, doesn't it? Condensing the hops into a double IPA. For this delicious double IPA we have used a simple malt bill of extra pale flaked oats and dextrin malt for a soft profile to let the hops shine. Citra and Mosaic give us tropical fruits and delicious dankness. We then blended in Crush and Crush Hyper Boost, which is HBC 586 if you knew it from before, to optimise our tropical fruits. Crush is a very much loved trial hop here at Burnt Mill HQ, known as HBC 586. It does say later on, of course, and we are thrilled that it is officially commercial. I mean, it was commercial anyway, being a trial hop, and I would say that when something is released as a HBC something, in general, it's always going to be released as a permanent hop. I think over here in the UK with the is released internationally. I would say by that point it's going to be released as, I could be wrong, but that's at least the way I've seen things over the past 10 years being in the industry, that hops from different hop breeding programs, they tend to get like a number. I mean, every hop breeding program will give a number to a specific hop that is a new one. I mean, things like Matwaka, that used to be called SARS. I think it was called SARS D, not a number, but it was a variety of SARS or something. This Will from Charles Farham is like an oracle of knowledge like this, and he always gets bollocked for kind of going on at length about talking about different hops and that sort of thing and going really off piste. I love that sort of thing because that's exactly what I do, and gives you far too much information about details of different hops and how hops blended and everything together. And yeah, love that sort of thing. So what I was about to say was that basically Charles Farham, when they do hops, especially in the UK, is that we seem to get like a huge variety of different hops that Charles Farham have grown and have created, and very little of them ever really actually get mentioned. So when I see these like Charles Farham collabs, or like a Bath House collab or a YCH collab or something like that, it seems to be with like really popular styles, but I want to see a CF129 collab, and that's on there, that's on the list. When you go on Charles Farham on the website and you see CF129, there is no information about it, and pretty much all the other CF hops, there's not really much information. The only brewery who I can say have actually done something interesting with this was Buxton. Early on last year, they did a whole range of beers with new CF hops, and that was great to try a good few of them when we were at BeerX last year. But yes, I digress massively. Talk about Charles Farham for a good portion. Hop merchant I use. I haven't always used them. I've used Brookhouse and stuff, which I've got a Brookhouse glass in front of me, and I use YCH for other stuff, and Bath House for other things as well. But Charles Farham, always a good solid. Make up 97% of my hops purchased every year at the minute. So yeah. Burnt Mill Brewery, Condensing covers. Let's get back on the beer. Talk about the beer. 8% double IPA. It's going to be good. It's going to be solid. It's going to be decent. Best before is 10th of December 2025. Canned on 11th of December 2024. Let's crack it open on this fine Thursday night. Using the stupid glass. For a silly ABV beer. So, fog double IPAs from Burnt Mill tend to be, from the ones I've had, not a full-on New England IPA, but almost like for me at least, a slight hybrid of a West Coast and a New England. Probably 60-40 in favour of New England. in terms of appearance and flavour, but there are still some characteristics of a West Coast. But on this, on the nose, it's just all crush. Just so much crush. Like peachy, pineapple, passion fruit. Now a little bit of coconutty goodness I always associate with Sabro. And a little bit of the rose water as well. That you get in like smell like Talus. It's like HBC 1019 for me. It's a different one, different hop. That's like Sabro and Talus on crack. And this for me, I think it's just like Talus on crack. So maybe HBC 1019 is Sabro and Talus on heroin, mate. Anyway, it just smells fantastic. Really does. That's a lovely, lovely aroma. Like passion fruit, mango, melon, pineapple. Brilliant. Dive in. Cheers. It's bloody good. It's bloody good. That's, without a shadow of doubt, one of the best double IPAs I've had this year. It's only February, and I've had a lot of double IPAs. And I've got a few more in the fridge. Just the balance on this, the balance on it is perfect. It's not too in your face, which you can get, you know, putty, for example. I loved it, I thought it was brilliant. But this is much more mellow, much more easy drinking. Yeah, nice sweetness to it. The malty profile, you've got nice kind of like, yeah, it's just bloody good. It's just bloody good. Doing the job right, that is. Doing the job right. It's, like I said, I think it's extra pale, just read extra pale, so it's really, really light. Extra pale, flake dose and dextrin. So there is relative thickness, relatively decent body on the beer, coming from the oats. And the dextrin, of course. Lovely soft water profile. Really soft and easy drinking. Like we had the Howling Hops earlier. It was a little bit chalky, a little bit dry, a little bit too much calcium in it. This is perfect. It's got the nice residual sweetness from the beer anyway. From the probably stopping about 10, 12, maybe probably higher, 10, 13 maybe. On this, it's got a lovely sweetness, residual sweetness on it. And then the finish of the actual water profile is really soft, really easy drinking. But not too soft, not too sweet. Bitterness, perfect. Now, maybe the sweetness is a little bit more than I typically, but I think that might actually be down to the carbonation, not the sweetness of the actual beer. I think carbonation is probably a little lower than I'd expect. We're talking fractions here, but what it does increase, less carbonation means for me, definitely for me, more drinkability. Lovely honeydew melon, pineapple, passion fruit, mango sort of flavours with that added rose watery, light coconut flavour as well. That is fantastic. Like I say, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the best double IPAs I've had this year. I mean, Putty was mental for the way it just jumped out of the glass at you, and I said that on the other review earlier. Just the way that certain beers are able to, you know, just push their aroma around the room. This wasn't that at all, but the flavours that it did give, or the aromas it did give, right up my street. So yeah, Burnt Mill Condensing covers Citra Mosaic Crush Fog Double IPA. Absolutely cracking that one, and would happily have a can of that again. I've got a couple more Burnt Mill beers left in the fridge to try, but of the ones I've had, they've been really good. So I'm just looking over what brewery to kind of try next, because I like to buy a couple of different breweries beers. So I've kind of done Howling Hops this year, done Burnt Mill. In addition to obviously beers and buying on the side. I'm going off on a trip on holiday. Back end of the month, I'm actually going on holiday, not very long away. I'm going off to Cornwall, and I'm going to try and pick up some Padstow beers for a reason that I'll probably put out there as soon as it's public. As soon as more information is out there, and then I'll try and get some Blunt Rock and maybe some brand new beer, because it's not far away at all from where I'm going. Beers to have on my channel, some local beers basically to where I'm going to, and then off to Estonia, off to Tallinn and Tartu and Narva as well, and hopefully get some beers. Narva's going to be a bit tricky to get some local beers from, but I'll try and get some if I can, or at least maybe to even do a on location review of whatever I can find there. So off there, and then I think when I come back from what I've been looking at on the website, I might get some Brewtoon again, because they do a lot of beers, a lot of different styles of beers that really are right up my sort of street, right up my strata. And I have had some Brewtoon beers in the past few weeks and months that I've really enjoyed. So yeah, we might hit up that brewery. But I think it's really nice to buy a chunk from a brewery and truly kind of explore what varieties and what sort of styles they do best. I've got a red double IPA next, which I'll probably be having tomorrow or Saturday or something like that. But anyway, that's been lovely. Condensing covers, like I say, from Burnt Mill. Excellent beer. See you next one. Cheers.